The Liberals claim they're prepared for a wave of immigration caused by Donald Trump's deportation threats. But to be ready, you'd have to be watching the borders. Under the Safe Third Country Agreement, anyone who crosses the border secretly can make a refugee claim in Canada after 14 days. However, since the end of Roxham Road, the vast majority of RCMP officers have been redeployed. While there were 100 of them at the time to cover 160 kilometres around Roxham Road, Radio-Canada revealed that as of June 29th, there are now only 6 of them left. How many border agents are there today? The Honourable Minister of National Security. Mr. Speaker, the RCMP Commissioner and the Quebec Commander were both very clear. There has been no reduction in RCMP staffing in Quebec. In fact, we've invested more in the RCMP and CBSA. I have every confidence in their ability to deal with any contingency at any time. That's their job, to be ready and to foresee circumstances at the border. That's precisely what they're doing. We have to have confidence in their preparation and in their work. The Honourable Member for Avignon, Lamitis, Matane, Matapédia. Mr. Speaker, Quebec is so concerned that they're considering policing the border themselves. This morning in committee, the Minister of Public Security told me he was surprised that François Legault would want to send officers to the border because it's purely and completely a federal responsibility. Well, that's the problem. It's federal jurisdiction, but the feds don't seem to have a plan for the border. Nature abhors a vacuum, so with the federal government nowhere to be seen at the borders, Quebec needs to react. What's the plan and how many more officers are being deployed? The Honourable Minister of National Security. Mr. Speaker, I greatly appreciate the question from my colleague. In fact, I enjoyed our exchange earlier in committee. We talked about this very question. I reassured the committee, and my colleague was there, that the RCMP and Border Services are ready for any contingency. There are plans in place. They've been there for months. I think we need to have confidence in them and understand that giving the details of operational plans for politicians to do that on the floor of the House of Commons would be very irresponsible. The Honourable Member for Avignon, Lamitis, Matane, Matapédia. As if there weren't already lots of reasons to doubt the federal government's readiness, listen to this. This morning in committee, the minister told me we shouldn't imagine hundreds of thousands of arrivals before that becomes a real threat. Mr. Speaker, he says he's ready to wait until it becomes a threat before doing anything. He even told us there was no hurry because Trump doesn't take office till January. Mr. Speaker, this isn't the National Improv League. It's government. It's their job to see crises coming. When are they going to do what needs doing? The Honourable Minister of Immigration and Citizenship. I thought the Bloc, and rightly so, was concerned about the CAQ policy of scaremongering. But here they are back at the charge. We have always been monitoring the borders, but I think everyone understands that it would be pretty amateurish of us to detail our plans here on the floor of the House of Commons.